Hey guys, you may have heard about the recent Tonga volcano eruption. It may well be one of the worst eruptions in the last 100 years. Because of this, I figured I'd hop on the volcano view train and give a basic explanation of the types of volcanoes, how they work, and which ones you should be worried about. First off, I'd like to explain how volcanoes work. The entire Earth is composed of tectonic plates, giant slabs of rock that cover the Earth's molten core. These plates are slowly moving in varying directions, and they often run into each other or diverge. When two tectonic plates collide, they often rise to form mountain ranges. However, they don't form an even seal, and due to the enormous pressures of the magma underneath, volcanoes are sometimes made out of these mountains. When two tectonic plates separate, they reveal the magma underneath, and it pours upwards. This is called a fissure vent. Normally, the magma cools and fills the gap it came out of, so there are no endless magma wells. Also, most volcanic ranges are underwater, which further cools the magma. Those are the basics of how volcanoes form underneath the surface, but how they look and erupt is still vastly different from volcano to volcano. The usual impression of a volcano is a giant cone with some lava coming out of the hole in the top. This most closely represents the stratovolcano, a volcano composed of a number of different layers of material and magma. Famous examples of this include Mount Fuji in Japan and Mount Stromboli and Vesuvius in Italy. These periodically erupt out of the central crater when the pressures inside grow too great. Their cycle times vary greatly from near constants to tens of thousands of years. Next up is a far less commonly depicted type of volcano, the dome volcano. These are characterized by large swellings of the ground, and the only eruptions are caused by small collapses of the structure. They are relatively harmless, only slowly spewing out lava during eruptions. They are far more common underwater than on land, and are actually responsible for the creation of the Hawaiian Islands. Yeah, that's right. The only reason you have those girls in coconut bikinis and grass skirts is because some rock decided to bend upwards a long time ago. Be grateful. Before we get to the real kickers, I'll list some of the less common types of volcanoes. Cinder cones erupt once and are small. Subglacial volcanoes are uncommon and form underneath glaciers. Mud volcanoes are small volcanoes that release mud and steam rather than magma. And now onto the ones that are actual threats. Supervolcanoes. Supervolcanoes are massive regions of Earth with large quantities of magma underneath. Examples include the Yellowstone caldera in, go figure, Yellowstone National Park, Valles caldera in New Mexico, and Lake Toba in New Zealand. The classification for a supervolcano is a volcano that has erupted at least 240 cubic miles of ash in a single eruption. For reference, two small football stadiums is about 1 cubic mile. That's 480 football stadiums worth of ash. These volcanoes pour out so much material that they can drop the entire world's temperature multiple degrees. The local area would be devastated, buried under feet of toxic ash and chemicals. Depending on the weather, if the Yellowstone caldera erupted right now, it could drop ash on people as far away as Pennsylvania. The good news is the eruption cycles for supervolcanoes is measured in hundreds of thousands of years, if not millions. The Yellowstone caldera isn't due for an estimated 150,000 more years, so don't worry about being covered in ash anytime soon. However, if any one of these supervolcanoes erupted, it could change life as we know it forever. So you better get subscribing to me off your bucket list now.